right, Kyle, first impressions.
I think it's nice and roomy, and I think it's going to be extremely comfortable. Do you have a nice like window too, where you can look out?
Yep.
I mean, look at that view right now, Brad. Holy cow!
Let's take a look.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Nice skyline lit up.
Look, the plasma TV pushes in case you need a little extra room. All right, so this is the view from the upper bunk, looking out into Appalachia. We're here in West Virginia, somewhere between Charleston and the Virginia border. Up here we got our storage. Kyle, hit the light for us.
Sure thing.
So there's our storage. Got a mirror, sink. The sink is actually behind there.
All right, and then
let me see if I can open it up here, Kyle. So,
oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah, look at that, huh?
That's great.
Yep.
I mean, it comes well equipped with. You just do that.
Yeah, I think you're good.
Yep, I got it. Yeah, I mean, it comes well equipped with just about any convenience that you would want. And then, I mean, this, you can't beat being able to just look right out the window there. And then, I like the fact that, you know, you kind of have your own personal space up above and below. So, and then the service has been quite nice too, right? Where it asks you if you hear certain sounds.
This right here is the hallway to get out. The outside, we got a little stretch here in white sulfur springs. Just push this little button here, and it opens. Clearly that's not where we're getting out. This is the dining car. There's Kyle taking us on a tour.
That's right. This is employees only.
That's where all the magic happens for lunch.
That's right.
Let's see.
Pardon me.
Alright, who's getting on today?
All right, just got off the train, and now we're heading up the escalator.
Yep.
And we're gonna tour DC tonight before we get started for our first leg of the ride across America. You got 2 ways to go. You wanna go this way?
Yep. We're here in Union Station. Just unboarded from the Amtrak, and now we're trying to find the exit so we can get to some monument touring. And here's the beautiful Union Station.
Massachusetts Avenue, here we come.
There's the Washington Monument.
Got some folks over there that know what they're doing. Let's try it. You ready? What are we doing? It's right here. Where'd you go, B-Rad? Try this.
Yeah? Oh, wow, yeah, okay. I got you.
I don't know what's happening.
Let's just do it. Everyone's doing it.
Everyone's doing it.
Everyone's doing it.
Everyone's doing it. Here it is. Here we are. We're doing it. I don't know what you're supposed to feel. I think you're supposed to feel like it's falling on you. Is that what's supposed to happen?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going with that theory.
Yeah, it doesn't really feel like it's falling on me.
I just feel like my blood's rushing to my head.
Yeah, all right. That's good. That was fun. Woo!
Here we are at the White House.
Yep. We're gonna share with the president a couple of our ideas.
We need more long distance bike trails, Mr. President.
Yes, that's the new National Parks Initiative.
Now I'm looking at the ground.
Hey, if more people are riding bikes, more people get along.
There you go.
That's my policy.
Bada bing, bada boom. There's Tom, just standing. Heading into Arlington. Sun's setting behind us. We got just the Lincoln Memorial to go. All right, there he is. That's a better picture of Abe.
It's nothing better than waking up next to my life partner.
That's on the video.
No, it's not. Oh,
Okay.
take that out.
Okay, here's how it's gonna go.
Okay. Oh, you're gonna sit? I'm gonna go get another chair there. Is there another chair?
There's not.
No.
If you're watching this, then we're already dead.
That's all you wanted to say?
No, that's wrong video.
All right, good morning. This is day one of our Macksons right across America. It is July 9th, 2022. Brad, give us a weather update and what we're looking forward to today.
So we got 62 miles of Harper's Ferry, West Virginia. It's gonna be rainy, overcast, and definitely muddy here on the C&O because it's unpaved. So we're gonna be in gravel and limestone all day. So the bikes are gonna look pretty rough by the end. Hopefully we will not be looking pretty rough by the end. So thanks for joining us. We'll see you in a bit.
All right, we'll leave you out on a couple shots of our mile marker 0.
Mile marker number 0, the C&O.
Mile marker 0. All right, we'll keep you updated.
All right, we're about 7 miles in here on the C&O. Because it had rained last night, our conditions are quite muddy. But you know what? It makes for a bit bigger of an adventure. Just past lock number 7, and a couple of these lock houses you can actually stay in. You can rent the night. But hold on, I'll come back to you. Okay, navigated that. We also are running into a half marathon that's running on the trail today, so it's been quite busy. Here's some of the water people. There you have the C&O Canal, and of course we're riding on the towpath where all the donkeys or mules or horses, whatever it is that they use to pull it. And then over through the trees there, you can barely see it, it's the Potomac. That's of course what would let the water into the canal. So there you have it.
Now that's pretty. That video will not do this justice. I mean, so far this morning, it's just been a mixture of mankind's ingenuity and God's spectacular creative design. Get in that? Yeah.
Well, mile 14 here of the C&O.
We're in the state of Maryland.
Yeah, and we've reached Great Falls, which is this amazing carving of the rock by the river here.
So we'll have some other footage of the larger falls, but as we've walked through the trail, we think this is probably the most impressive and most scenic. And we'll give you another shot around this way. Just the water splitting through this craggy rock. It's pretty spectacular. Brad and I have been discussing so far this ride, the theme of the day is just the juxtaposition between like mankind's engineering feats and how impressive they are, and then in comparison to God's creative design and just how majestic it is, and how God's creative design wins every time, but we can still marvel at what God can do through mankind and their ingenuity.
Roadblock number 1.
Yep, let's clear it. Where this deer pays off as well.
As opposed to panniers.
Imagine the panniers doing all that.
It's where your height pays off. All right. Hey, look, I think...
Man, I start up, I feel the grind.
You see that? I don't know what kind of... Is that one of these pawpaw trees? I've never seen a pawpaw fruit.
Yeah, it almost looks like a walnut, but it's a different shape than the walnut. I bet you this was a walnut tree.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know what I'm looking at.
Here, take a bite.
Nope. All right, we're about halfway to Harper's Ferry. As you can see, we're pretty wet today, but it's been a good trip so far. Seen a lot of locks, a lot of lock houses, which are cool that they preserve those for like where the people lived who took care of the locks. You can see how just utterly filthy here the bikes are, because of the kind of material we ride on. It's, you know, it's not paved, so it's pretty nasty. Here's my legs. Let me turn around this way. You can kind of see there. It's quite a bit of towpath. So,
And I can't get over how lake-like the Potomac looks like at certain points along. As it winds around, it gets super low. There's a little lock house. We are so close. We're within an hour of being able to get some food in our stomachs. It has been an epic ride, but it's been very wet. We'll be happy to wash off, lube up the chains, as they will desperately need it, and get a little bit of extra energy, as we will definitely need that.
this one's a little blurry, got some water on it.
Yeah.
The funky little aqueduct that we're on here, riding right across the top of it. There we go. Looking nice. All right, behind me there is Boxcar. That's where we're stopping for lunch here in Brunswick. It is late. It is almost 2:30, and letting that car pass for a minute. It was one of our harder rides because we misjudged where we could stop and eat. We haven't eaten, we didn't eat any breakfast this morning, so we've been just eating bars along the way. But it's been brutal because getting a little hangry. And so we stopped here, we got a burger. We're just waiting for that to come on out. We're gonna set out here at these benches. So it's our lunch spot, and then we got about 6 more miles until Harper's Ferry tonight. So that's update as of day 1 on the Macksons right across America.
All right, this is our stop for the end of day 1.
Yep.
As you can see, we're at Harper's Ferry. We are going to cross over to get over to Harper's Ferry, which is on the other side. AT. See that Appalachian Trail south? We're gonna head back that way so that we can stay in the town of Harper's Ferry tonight. And then we'll pick up at this spot tomorrow morning to finish off the
Well, to begin day 2.
To begin day 2, yep.
Woo.
Come on down.
Okay, so this is me and Kyle taking our pre-bath.
Yeah.
Right here. There's one leg that's still muddy and one that's not. Okay, it's right there, those two houses on the left.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Starting to shift too?
No, it's because I'm putting torque on it and I think it's full of mud. The chain. If I drop, I'll just walk it.
Okay.
Yeah, right there, Mountain House. I think we check in at the other one though. We'll see. All right, we're in our bed and breakfast for the night. This is a place called Towns Inn, and this building that we're in was built in 1840. And so we got the top floor here. This is called the Shenandoah room.
They said it was the nicest room in the entire place.
There you go. That's right.
I asked them specifically. I said, I want the nicest room. They said, well, that's what we gave you.
Down here is historic Harper's Ferry, so we're gonna go out and explore a little bit. And then you'll see in here there's like a common room, which is basically ours to peruse. They said most of the other guests don't come all the way up here because we're on the 3rd floor. So here's a shot of the outside of the Towns Inn. We're staying up in that window right there. And what she told us was that this house was built from the rock that they blasted out of this wall. And then there's the original house built in 1820. Okay. All right, today's the beginning of day 2 of the Macksons right across America. We are in the courtyard of the Towns Inn here. And this building over here behind us was built in 1820. And the one that we stayed in, which is right here behind us.
It was a slightly more modern one.
Yeah, that's right, 1840?
I think it was 1830, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. So, you know, we said that's the historical one, this one's just vintage.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're riding to Hancock today, which is gonna be about 60, 65 miles, somewhere in between there. We're gonna stop in a place called Shepherdstown for breakfast, which is 12 miles up the road. And then we'll, hopefully it'll be much drier, less muddy.
I think that our guys told us, we originally planned for around 60. We are gonna have one detour today, right?
Oh, that's right, there's like about a 3-mile detour. Road detour, so we'll get on that, and then so it'll be more like
I think we said it was closer to 70 today.
Yeah.
It was gonna be like 68. So yeah, super excited. It's we're feeling good. You're feeling good, right?
Yeah, feeling great. Harper's Ferry was a great time. We had a fantastic dinner.
Oh,
and
yeah, what was the Rabbit Hole?
The Rabbit Hole, yeah.
That is a highly recommended place to stop.
Yeah. So anyway, we're anxious to get rolling here, and we'll check back soon.
Country roads take me home to the place where I belong, West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads. Now, technically, we're in Maryland, but we just left West Virginia. So.
We're longing to go back.
Yes, yes.
All right, so we're making a climb up into Shepherdstown, right? West Virginia. Going up this hill on switchbacks. Then we're gonna cross a big bridge. I'm told that the buildings here predate the Revolutionary War.
All right, I'm probably breathing a little heavy. We just climbed a little hill, so switchbacks. You can see below, that's where we came from. This is where we are now. And that is where we are heading. That's a beautiful shot right there.
Here we are at Big Slackwater, about to cross the decking that they put out in the Potomac. Goes for, I think, 2.7.
At one point in time, apparently this river was a little bit shallower, or maybe more, the better way to describe it would be, it was a little bit more narrow. And because they flooded it for hydroelectric purposes, it pretty much consumed what was the canalway. And so they had to build this for through riding. Really deep.
Doesn't sound too good. I'm gonna stop and fix that here in a minute.
All right, hitting up a detour. As you can see, it is definitely meant for some adventure traversing.
All right, we're on detour number 1 here. It's right off that Big Slackwater decking that we came off of, that concrete around the river. Looks like they're restoring some, and now we got a long walk. All right, so here we are on the detour road. This is about 3 miles. It's reminding us of Amish country in Ohio a little bit because it's rolling hills. And it's definitely a change of pace from the old green tunnel of the C&O. So I think we're getting close to the end. We're turning back toward the Potomac now.
All right, so we have truly gone backcountry at this point. All right, that's kind of our riding conditions right now. We are at the official midpoint, 92.25, 92 and a quarter of the C&O trail. How you feeling?
You know, I feel good. This day is much better than yesterday. Temperature is a little warmer. This is pretty muddy, so we gotta mind our P's and Q's when we're riding because the bikes fishtail a lot.
Yeah.
But
you can see we're glistening a little bit from a little bit of sweat on us.
But we'll be at lunch here in the next 35 minutes. And it is 11:43.
Lifted. We have really enjoyed today's ride. That detour was something we were kind of not looking forward to, and it ended up being something that was quite enjoyable.
Yep, I'd agree.
This, however, has been a little bit treacherous. It causes you to clench up a little bit.
Yeah,
and
my old wrists are tight for holding on to.
And I can feel it in my shoulders a lot today because I'm just kind of clenching down and trying to make sure that I have extra stability while on the bike because you fishtail quite a bit.
So there's an event where about 1,000 cyclists are making a trip on the C&O. It's a supported trip. So these last handful of miles, Kyle and I have been passing dozens upon dozens upon dozens of other cyclists, which is kind of fun to see. At the same time, it kind of forces you into one lane so you can't ride side by side. This probably won't look as beautiful on a camera, but that looks really nice. Sounds cool too.
We are arriving at our next stop. Finishing up this leg of the journey. Whew. I'm feeling it tonight. Feeling it today. It's a good ride, but I'm glad to be done.
So our bed and breakfast got moved because the other one had COVID, and so we moved down the street here, and we're the only ones staying here tonight, and we've got access to this whole shop. You can see it's like a little bike shop. So we washed all of our stuff up. Bikes look good. We had to rewrap the handlebars because the wet handlebars made all the handlebar tape loose. So Kyle and I just finished that, took all the bags off, washed that. Kyle's now working on this fender that we got for free. It fit his bike, it did not fit mine.
Yeah,
trying to help a little bit. It's from 3 Point Cycles there in Brunswick, Maryland. But they're looking good. We're about to head upstairs. We have the whole house to ourselves, although we do have to make our own breakfast in the morning, which is funny. But
the gentleman was super nice and accommodating. Apparently he was going on vacation, and he was nice enough to allow us to use the space. And he gave us a little bit of a discount since he's not serving us breakfast in the morning. But he put it all out there for us to and explain what we needed to do to be able to.
The other thing that happened is in my free hub here, I got something stuck, and so thankfully the cycle shop was open on a Sunday, and I had to take off the cassette, clean out the free hub, put some oil and grease in there, and now it's back running. So I'm going to give you a quick tour of this B&B that Kyle basically and I basically have this whole place to ourselves. So come down here. So down here, they got a couple rooms, 2 rooms down here, but this is the dining area. And we got a little bit of a discount because he's not going to be here to make breakfast for us. So we have free access to everything they've got in the fridge, as you can see here, and everything in the freezer. So we're going to make a breakfast sandwich, have some yogurt in the morning. Our coffee's already ready to go. We're going to brew that. If we wanted, we could cook eggs over here on the stove. And so it's kind of like our own private residence for the moment. Let me take. Now up here, there's a couple more rooms. Room 3 here, room 5. We are in room 4. Let me show you. Let's see, get this light on. So it's 2 twin beds. That way we're not shacked up together. And then of course this is the bathroom where, we came in and obviously had a shower after our ride. And then out here we got our clothes drying. We did wash them. The washer's behind that door. And then out here, there's Kyle on the phone.
Hey there.
And but out here is this like big sunroom area. Computer, free Wi-Fi. And then what's really nice, looking out here over the balcony, that's the canal. It goes all the way up to Cumberland, Maryland, and all the way back down to DC. Going on the far side there, sorry, one more thing. On the far side, that's the C&O Trail. So again, that's what we've been on for the last 2 days. We'll earn it for one more day, and then we join the Great Allegheny Passage. Yeah, all right, so we're gonna do a recap here of day number 2. We're gonna start off with a few questions. So Kyle, give us our stats for the day. How did we do?
It looks like we went 70.8 miles today.
Okay.
And the full total ride time was 5 hours and about 5.5 hours, 5 hours, 34 minutes. Of actually being on the bike, it looks like.
And we started in Harpers Ferry, West Virginia, and then here we landed today in Hancock, Maryland. So the Potomac skirts them. You can go on both sides, and West Virginia's, we could probably see to West Virginia if those trees weren't there. So
yeah.
What was your most memorable moment?
Most memorable moment for me would probably be helping our guy out.
Yeah. Trying to help him.
Yeah. So Morris, right? Morris?
Yeah.
So Morris, I hope you got where you were supposed to be, and so he let us.
Now, here's the advice for the day. Whenever you go on a bike tour, day 1, you kind of got to get into it. And so we ended day 1, we were pretty spent. I'd say I'd definitely put it in the top 5 hardest days we've ridden.
Yeah, and that was what, 63? Was it 62 miles?
And it wasn't even the mileage that was so hard, but that the towns are so few and far between. We were always at a hunger point.
Yeah, I mean, what was it? 55 miles before we ate.
It was 55 miles, so we didn't eat lunch until it was close to 3 o'clock.
Oh, yeah.
It was hard, but here's the deal: is on day 2 you feel much better. And today was, I would put into one of the top 5 rides we've ever had.
Yeah, and I would say some of the favorite things that we got to experience, it had to do with like the culinary experiences. Definite spot.
Today had it all, Kyle. We had a good ride.
Yep. We
had a detour. I mean, that's how it goes, right?
Yep.
We had, there's a section of the trail that was literally on the Potomac River. And after the detour, it was like we were on a brand new trail because it was all like this double track where there's mud everywhere. So you were sliding as you were riding. You really had to pay attention and focus. Yeah. We got to help someone today, even though it didn't work out. We stopped to help someone. I had to get my bike fixed at the end of the day because the free wheel wasn't spinning easy. We had great food. We got great lodging. Right now the laundry's going. So like we really checked all the boxes.
Oh, I really feel like this is a blessing. Like it worked out perfectly to have this space.
Yeah, it really was. So, it is 6:56 on Monday, July 11th. It's our long day. It's 75 miles to Frostburg, Maryland. Although there is a detour, we're not sure how much that's really going to put. So we'll probably be closer to 80. But we're tentatively excited. At least I am. A little nervous that it might be a large hill to climb, literally and figuratively. So we'll see how it goes.
That's pretty. Once again, these kinds of things, they're so cool in person. I don't know how cool they come across on camera.
Not at all. Okay, it's happening. It's happening.
Susan, it's happening. This is the part that Susan most appreciates about our rides.
Yeah. All right.
She said, we look really cool, is what she said.
Well, let's go over. I'll commentate it. Okay, Kyle's coming up to the tree branch. He puts 1 foot over the tree branch.
I got another one coming right here. Watch.
Okay, he does another.
Right there.
And one more.
Do the double touch right here. All right, it's a little slick right when you step down here, Brad. Treacherous.
Give me your hand. Give me your hand. All right. Here we go.
Hey, Susan, we made it. I think they went down. Oh, shoot. Get off to the side there, dear. Man, she's gonna be away from Mama. I'm gonna get on one side. You get there. You go, like that. It'll kick over.
Poor dear.
Yeah, Mama will get to it, but there we go. There we go. No way.
Is that a goat?
It is a. That wasn't. Okay. Whew.
So here we are in the Paw Paw detour. Climb about 400 feet from, well, here, let's walk over here.
Just drop it. Can't really see it very well.
Yeah, you can't see it, but we came from that basin and just 2 switchbacks, so that's why we're breathing hard.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're told it's a little over a mile, about 1.5 miles, I think. And it should take us about 45 minutes per the other people who've passed through. And then we're gonna start looking for lunch. Yep. What time is it, Kyle?
Sorry?
What time is it?
It's 10:17. We have...
On Monday the 11th.
We are probably at about, yeah, mile 30, almost 31. We're at 30.7. And we've been riding for about 2 hours and 50 minutes at this point.
We got to get to, it'll probably end up being about 80 miles when it's all said and done today. So how many total?
Right now,
yeah,
we're at 30.7.
Okay.
And we're 2 hours and 50 minutes in.
All right.
So we're actually making decent time right now.
So we're about 3/8 done. We'll be half done here shortly. All right. Seriously, if you're watching this, we probably really are dead. It's a steep uphill. My hand keeps getting in the way. There we go.
Holy cow. So, yeah, you guys are close, man. This was a trek.
Thanks, man.
Yep. Yep. See ya. You're getting there, buddy.
Have a good day.
You do the same.
Yeah. Man.
Right downhill.
For people who don't mountain bike, that was good. It was tough. I'm sure if we did it more often, that would be pretty easy. But you know.
I would say with these wheels and with the drop, it was probably every bit as a challenge as anything else that you should be riding a gravel bike on.
Yeah, I mean, I was on my brake most of the time to kind of keep it from getting away from me.
There are a couple of points where it was kind of fun because you felt like you were jockeying and back and forth.
You had to really pay attention.
Yeah, you just like eyes wide open. We stopped here. We've got a little bit of a drop and then just a little quick uphill, and I don't know what the rest of that route is. That's back on the towpath right there. It looks like it might be. So I think we might be finished.
Yep, it's the Paw Tunnel. I read somewhere it's like 4 million bricks hand laid because the whole tunnel is bricked.
Yeah, the bricks start right about there. So they went from these large cobble to the brick. Something else, man. This is cool. I'm surprised they.
Yeah,
I don't know what the purpose of them building something like this would have been. I mean, I guess they would have had to have kept stacking these, right?
Look at that shale.
Yep. This is a national forest, a national park. I don't think you're allowed to do that, Brad.
A shale from the Paw Tunnel.
Back on. I had to bypass that puddle. Alright, this one is dark chocolate, cherry, and almond. Kate's Real Food. Look at that. It's probably just warm, but
yeah,
it looks all good.
Alright, see, I got nut butter bar, chocolate and hazelnut.
From Clough?
Oh, that's a Cliff. 220 cows.
This one's only 130. You said that's 230? 250?
220.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh, yeah.
That'll hunt. That dog will hunt, huh? Yeah, look at that. Look at that. That's cool. All that fallen shale. Oh yeah. That's pretty.
We're coming into Cumberland, Maryland. Last mile-ish of the trip. We're gonna take a photo at mile marker 184.5, get ourselves some refreshments, and then photograph the gap mile 0. And then we got 15 miles, 15 and a half, I think it is, Kyle.
Here's our next mile marker right
Till
here.
Frostbury. There it is, half mile to go, baby.
We are officially in the city of Cumberland, and we are finishing the C&O trail right now.
Yes, pavement.
This requires a Van Duzer dance.
Pavement, baby.
Oh, sweet solid ground.
Sandwiches and ice cream, what do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah? So as you can see, the Great Allegheny Passage is not mud-riddled double track. It is this ground up, I don't know, I was gonna say limestone, but it's black, so.
It's probably what goes in asphalt. It's just a ground up old asphalt.
We are on a 15-mile climb up to Frostburg for the night.
All right, so the climb is a little tough, but when you get views like this, that makes it worthwhile.
Yep.
Brad, we're still climbing.
I know.
But once again, this is what you earn. Oh, yeah.
Welcome to Frostburg, elevation heaven. We've been climbing for about an hour and 40 minutes and finally made it. So now to the B&B, rinse, wash, you know, the whole 9 yards.
Just hit all those switchbacks. We're at the top of the town of Frostburg. Looking forward to a nice meal. Very cold drink, lots of ice.
All right, I'm gonna give you a little walking tour of the Allegheny Trail House, right? That's the name of it, Kyle?
Yes, Allegheny Trail House.
So you can see right here, this is what our room looks like. So we got two nice double beds. And then over here, we've got our little private bathroom space, which is just modest. There,
That's the job.
I'm washing my helmet because of all the sweat. So let me show you kind of out here in the common room. It's a pretty cool B&B. There's two more rooms right here behind us, and then one more here. So there's 4 rooms total. But then we've got this beautiful staircase going down, and really well maintained in terms of the floor, and the banister is really nice. Over here you have a map of all the different visitors, where they've been from, which is kind of cool. Here's the common room. Got some reading material here on the table. Here's the dining room where we'll eat breakfast tomorrow morning. It's 7:30 to 9:30 in here. So it's pretty nice. And then of course there's a kitchen, which lights are off. Let me see here. Aha. There you go. So we're looking forward to that tomorrow. Eating here. Back there is a restroom and all the laundry facilities. And then out here, we were able to park our bikes here for a minute while we washed them up. And then we were able to maintenance the chain there, and of course they're locked in that room right now while we sleep. Up here is a hot tub, which we are not going to be using tonight. We are tired and it is warm, so I'm not sure that's what we'd want to do. All right, well, good morning. Today is July the 12th. It is 7:23. We're about to head down here in our B&B and eat breakfast, but before we do so, we want to make sure we recap day number 3, because overall it was a good day, right, Kyle?
It was a great day. It was
Some highlights.
It was grueling. I would say, yeah, highlights would have been, ironically, that climb. The climb looking out over top of some of the most picturesque parts of what we've ridden.
So it was a 15.5 mile climb. We climbed somewhere in north of 1,000 feet of elevation. And this morning we've got about 9 miles left to go, and we'll end up climbing another, I think it's 600 is what we determined.
Yep.
So it's gonna be a hard start to the day. But the nice thing was, last night we met a nice couple from LaGrange, Kentucky, who are going the opposite direction, Tom and Susan. And we had a great time talking to them, and they're going to be in Cincinnati for a concert soon. So we give them some restaurant recommendations.
And we
that was
recommended our trail, the Ohio Trail, the Ohio to Erie Trail.
Yep.
So
it was a thrill to get off the C&O yesterday after 2.5 days of wilderness riding. So now we've got some nice.
However, before we move any further, I had to ask you the question: what was the most memorable thing? I think we both agreed.
Oh boy, you put me on the spot. The most memorable thing.
Come on, man, Brad.
From yesterday. Tunnel. Oh, the Paw Paw Tunnel. Oh my gosh, that was that was really a feat of wonder, I think, for that time period. Well, and then providentially, we were running low on water, and these two guys stopped us, red shirts, Boy Scouts, and they wanted to know if we had seen their other troop leader, which we couldn't recall if we did or not, because we saw people, but we're not sure.
Yep.
Anyway, I just made mention about us being low on water, and they offered us water and Gatorade.
We filled up all of our water bottles, and that
allowed us to keep going instead of having to take the road over to Paw Paw, West Virginia. So we were able to get into Cumberland, and then
they gave us an extra half hour.
Yep.
So it gave us that half hour.
I think that pretty much wraps up day 3.
We should probably give a few stats, right?
Oh yeah, let's give the stats.
Let's do the stats here. So it was 79.2 miles total in our trip. And when we do that, we're not talking about entirely just the trail. Sometimes we're riding up into towns and stuff like that. And then it took us a total of 5 hours and 54 minutes of ride time to do that. But you can definitely see right here, this is the best part. This is that climb we were talking about, right? Look at the back end of that. Yeah. That was some work.
All right, it is 7:27. Let's go get some breakfast.
All right, let's do it.
Sound good?
Yep.
All right.
All right. This is Van Duser's calling card. So this is in honor of Mr. Ryan Van Duser.
All right, here we go into Borden Tunnel.
Me.
Ole, 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 ole. We're not doing another one. Yeah, these lights.
Solar, or motion sensor lights.
Yeah, this is a nice pavement to pedal on too.
All right, so we're about halfway through our climb this morning. It was a 9-mile climb. So we're at 4.5. And we felt like, Mason-Dixon right here. Look at that. We'll have to stop for this. Oh man, that's pretty. That right there, that is pretty. Now we get to go through the longest tunnel on the trail. And it is cold. Oh goodness, that's cold.
Here we are, we're going through the Big Savage Tunnel. It is freezing in here. Kyle, it's got to be in the 40s.
Yeah, you can feel the cold air emanating out of the tunnel.
What's amazing is how long this tunnel is. It's pretty cool. There's the last foot. Come on, baby.
Get it! Get it, Brad! Get it! What now?
All right, we're at the Eastern Continental Divide. We met a big group of friends here, other cyclists.
Look
Everyone
at this
say
crew,
hello.
yeah.
Everyone say hello, yeah. All right. All right. So
We're
it's,
giving all sorts of tips for the rest of our trip for today. Nice stop set for some good eateries.
yeah, all down here from here.
Here, give a shot up above here, Brad, so you can see the sign here for Continental Divide.
So I guess we're waiting on Tim and
go.
Frankie Fern.
And then we got a little handy map here. It shows us where along the route we are.
Give me a second.
You're good. No, you're good.
It's all part of it.
Yeah, it is. It's
Wait,
part of
you're
the
gonna get
farm.
the sad side with that face.
You are.
Excuse me. Excuse me. I think we skipped a bunch.
Oh, we skipped our lunch spot?
No, we skipped a bunch.
there for a little bit, and we took a break at a bike shop, and I think we're feeling a lot better. I don't know if it's because we're getting a little bit more downhill at this point. We're definitely cruising. We're cruising about 16 miles an hour, and we've been sustaining that for quite some time, and the scenery is outstanding. How about you, Brad? How are we doing?
Doing all right. We got about 12 miles to lunch. We're gonna stop in Confluence. As you can see down here on our right,
That's the view I'm talking about right there.
there's a beautiful little river. I think it's the Castleman. If I remember right, it's the Castleman. And Confluence is where the Castleman, the Allegheny meets the, is it Monongahela?
Monongahela.
I think so. We'll see.
So we managed to avoid rain for a couple days at least, but we're definitely we're getting our fair dose right now. We'd stop and wait, except for the fact that this isn't supposed to end until about 7 p.m. So might as well just keep riding through it. As you can see, we're geared up. We'll take it on.
Try as we may, we always run into rain. And of course on camera, this won't ever look as you know, as heavy as it is here in real life. But we got full rain gear on, head to toe. Head to toe. And hopefully we'll avoid getting too muddy. But we got about 2 more hours of riding today, and then we'll dry out. Just riding in the rain. Let me see here. That's a little better. It's real misty. We just got into Ohio State Park. we got rained on, and now we're just right alongside the river here. You can tell why it's a state park. It's real pretty. It's hard to see probably through these trees. We just saw people getting ready to go whitewater rafting down there. And we're basically whitewater rafting up here. Feet are soaked. Spirits are high though. Yeah, right? That's cute. Alright, well, we'll be in Ohiopyle in about 9 miles. So much for the nature sounds, right? That's right. Just put music to this part.
What you hear in the background is the screech of a rare owl.
All right, we've made it to Ohiopyle, and it's beautiful here. Here's Kyle out on the bridge. It's nice as it rained just before we got here, so we're getting a lot of fog.
You ready?
Ready when you are.
All right, go.
All right, well, it's that time of the day. It is recap. So day 4 is in the books.
Yep.
Kyle, you're gonna pull up the stats.
I'm pulling them up right now, saying you were going to ask that question.
That's right. Let's talk a little bit about how far we went.
Yep. How far we went?
Yep.
76 miles.
76.
76 miles.
On the nose. I believe.
Right on the nose. 0.0 this time.
Yep. So this morning we left the city of Frostburg.
Yep.
We rode all the way to here, which is Connellsville, Pennsylvania.
Yep.
Let's talk about the first leg of the trip. Well, is there any more stats you want to cover?
We covered that in 5 hours and 15 minutes is what it says here, is actual riding time.
Not too shabby.
Yep.
So let's talk about the first leg of the trip. Which
Frostburg to the Eastern Continental Divide. So what are some highlights, Brad, from that little stint?
You know, there's 2 things that come to mind real fast. Number 1 is the Mason-Dixon line. Really cool to be able to cross that and learn a little bit of the history of the Mason-Dixon line. And then the second thing was the Big Savage Tunnel.
Yeah, I would say that, and then the other thing is that it was obviously if you're hitting the Eastern Continental Divide, it's when things shift from being uphill to downhill.
That's right.
And so that was our last 9 miles of really pushing it.
Of climb.
Yep.
And what was cool is we met a group of riders from New York who had planned this whole trip, and we met them at the same time that they were cresting. So they were celebrating their crest from one side, and we were celebrating our cresting from the other side. So downhill for both, but going opposite directions.
Yep.
So the second part of the trip would be from the Eastern Continental Divide. I would say to Confluence.
Confluence, yeah, I would say that because that's where we ate lunch at.
Yep.
And so that was kind of our next big break.
Yep.
And so I'd say what were some of the highlights that you can think of between those 2 locations?
Well, clearly we're going downhill.
Yep.
So I think we average about 3 miles. I think that's what we determined, 3 miles an hour faster than we did the first 3 days, because those were going uphill. Now we're going downhill. So that was definitely a highlight. And right at the end of us eating, the skies just opened up and poured.
Yep.
Which led to a very wet and very muddy ride.
Yeah, but it was nice because we were able to see that gear up. We looked at the weather report and thought, there's no way that we're going to wait this out and get to our next destination, Connellsville. And so that kind of leads us to the next question is though we go from Confluence to Connellsville. So what's the highlight there?
Super highlight. Because of the rain, it caused a lot of dense fog right in the middle of Ohiopyle State Forest, or State Park.
Yep.
And which was beautiful and kind of eerie. So we got some good pictures of that.
And I would say the other thing was the bridges that kind of go over top of, throughout that. I don't know what was and wasn't Ohiopyle, but especially once you got into Ohiopyle.
A lot of scenic overlooks.
Yeah, a lot of scenic overlooks. And but yeah, I would agree that it wasn't just the fog though. It was also just the rapids, and we were watching people getting into the water or going downriver, doing some whitewater rafting. That was kind of cool.
So that pretty much wraps up here day 4. We're in Connellsville. We're in the Connellsville B&B. And we're going to get up at a little bit before 7. Breakfast is at 7.
Yep.
And then we got about a 60-mile push to get back and see the family. So we're really excited about wrapping this trip up.
Yep.
First leg of Ride Across America. All right, here we are.
Yep.
Day 5. We got 60 miles of Pittsburgh today. Got a great breakfast right here on that porch. Oh yeah. And we are fueled and ready to go. Any parting words, Kyle, for day 5?
I'm just ready to see family. Ready to see Susan. Ready to see the kids.
We got 2 pretty women and a handful of cute kids to see.
Yep.
So, okay, we'll be there in by 1 p.m.
Hope springs eternal on the early morning ride. A little bit. It's just, you know, you get up and you're super sore and you're feeling like, can I make it? And then you get on the bike and after a few spins, you're like, yeah, I can handle it. And then about 10 miles to go, that's when you wonder, what in the world did I do this to myself? Here's to a great ride on day 5.
That's right.
So this is kind of what we experience. We go through a green tunnel, so to speak, and then every once in a while it clears open. You have these small mountain towns. So you see the foothills on the right, foothills on your left, and then these towns just cut in between them. All right, we're on day 5. We got about 26 miles to go. So we're a little over 30 miles in, and we're just kind of sitting here on a bench taking a quick break, eating a snack, and we thought we'd go through our top 5 as far as the trip itself. I'm going to preface this. We're not going to mention anything in Washington, D.C. For 2 reasons. Number 1, it could have a list of its own, and number 2, you're actually starting just outside the city of DC at mile 0 on the C&O. And so, yeah, we can do that maybe at another time. But when you're on the trail, what is the first thing that you would add into our top 5?
The number 1 that you run into is the most natural of it all is the Great Falls.
Yep.
Yep.
And so the number 2, I would say, is the town of Harper's Ferry.
Very cool town.
Yeah, very cool town. Old. It's got some really cool history to it, and also it's naturally beautiful, seeing the cliff faces over the 2 rivers connecting. All right, number 3.
We're gonna go with tunnels on this one, specifically Paw Paw and Big Savage.
Yep, those are pretty awesome. All right, then I would say it's Continental Divide.
Continental Divide.
Yep, honorable mention to the Mason-Dixon line, which is right before that, if you're coming from our direction, DC to Pittsburgh.
Yep.
And then
Number 5.
Number 5.
Ohio Pile.
Yeah, Ohio Pile was beautiful. Now we were very fortunate in that
we got there right after it rained, so the fog was real dense. It made it feel like you were in some sort of picture that you see about nature.
I thought I was in the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
It just kind of had that feel. I've never been in the Pacific Northwest. We will get there at some point in time as we ride across America, but it just, as pictures and everything else that you see, it really looked that way. That misty, foggy.
Yep.
And really pretty.
Awesome.
Yep. All right, that's our top 5
so far.
Yep.
Right? And we still have half a day left.
That's right. Our honorable mention will have to be when we see our wives and our
There you
kids. I mean, that's got to be there too.
Well, that's the highlight of everything. So
that's correct.
All right.
All right, signing off. Talk to you guys soon.
All right, coming into McKeesport. Should be fairly some urban riding from here forward. About 19 miles to go. Can't wait. Woo. Crossing over into the main side of Pittsburgh. It's a hot metal bridge. See downtown. Almost home.
In 3/4 mile, turn left.
Come on next to me, my man. We'll finish this one together.
There you go, buddy.
Yeah!
All the way, all the way.
All the way, all the way. There it is, right there. Stomp on it.
There we go, man.
Let's go back to our lake.
Boo.